All right. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Virgo and Pisces axis. We're going to look at a Virgo Ascendant. We're going to look at what it means to be a Pisces Ascendant. And then we're also going to place the nodes, Ketu and Rahu, both in Virgo and Pisces. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. And if you like the material, I ask that you please subscribe below to my channel, my YouTube channel. I'd appreciate it. And then if you're interested about Virgo and Pisces and learning more, you can go onto my website. And so now let's just dive right into it. So let's start talking about Virgo and Pisces. Let's go ahead and pull up this graphic right here. So what we see with Virgo and Pisces, this axis, and when I'm talking axis, if you look at this little graphic I'm bringing up right here, you'll see that we're looking at the Virgo Pisces because they're opposite signs from each other. So they represent something, they represent two opposite ends of the same polarity. So what is this polarity? Well, this is the dual feminine. Both these signs, the only qualities these signs share is being dual and feminine. You'll see that here with both Virgo and with Pisces. So dual, the idea of dual means that, because there's three different modalities. There's movable, fixed, and dual. So movable means changeable, obvious definition. Fixed, obvious definition. So what's dual? Dual is being able to do both. Being able to change when time is needed. Being able to stay where you're at when it's working. And so that's the idea of the dual sign is to basically be both of those energies and also halfway in between those energies, because it represents sort of a changing nature, but it's changing from fixed to movable. If you look at the way they're placed in the zodiac, you see it will go fixed, movable, fixed, dual, then movable. So it's like, and there's even some belief that the first 15 degrees of a dual sign is fixed and the latter half of a dual sign is movable. I'm not sure whether that's true or not, but it's actually a great idea because what it points to is that it's in between the sign that stays the same and doesn't move, and it's between the changing portion, the cardinal directions of the zodiac. So what that means is that dual signs have a changeable nature to do whatever is necessary, and it's like bringing about the action coming out of that fixed energy and into the movable energy. So it's like moving from one to the other and being able to have the energy of both of those signs. And then it's a feminine, these are both feminine signs. So what that means is that it's about how we perceive the world, how things are perceived towards us, and how we are able to receive this energy and how we feel about it, you know. And so now getting into Virgo. So Virgo is an earth Rashi. Earth Rashis are about dealing with the concrete, tangible things. So the image, what I put here for the image of Virgo is I put a maiden. Yes, that is true. But my favorite description of the image of Virgo is a young maiden standing in a boat with a herbs in one hand and so it's like healing medicine, herbs in one hand and wheat in the other hand. So it's like food and medicine. So it's like finding, but it's also in a boat. So it's above the water and it's a young maiden. There's a certain innocence about Virgo, which is very interesting because the next thing about Virgo is that it's a tamasic sign. So we have someone who's innocent and pure, like a prepubescent maiden, you know, a prepubescent young girl who just does what she believes is the nicest, noblest, purest thing. There's an element of purity that comes with Virgo. But Virgo is tamasic. So what does tamasic mean? Tamasic can mean the dark sides of life. Tamasic can mean almost like evil. Tamasic can mean like very stable and almost sedentary. And tamasic can mean waiting around. But in this image of earth sign, it's the image of a maiden. And then if we also think about the ruler of Virgo, which is Mercury, and then we think about the idea of tamasic, Mercury is actually a Rajasic planet and Virgo is Mercury's mula tricone, where Mercury brings his energy from. And so we know Mercury wants to make things better. So basically the idea, what I see with Virgo, is this idea of refinement. Virgo is always about working with things. Like it's like about never being happy with what is there, knowing that it can always be better. And not coming from an emotional sense, but being above the emotionality of life and about what is concretely there, what like with Earth. It's about the Earth, the concrete things that we're dealing with in life. And how can we make those things better? Because one of the things about Virgo, if you've got some planets or some things going on in Virgo, it can make you very critical. Because it's tamasic. It's like things are never better. There's always a way to make it better. And that's the idea of Virgo, which is about always working with things. Virgo is about arguments. Virgo is about improvements. Virgo is about like a lawyer. If you had a lot of planets in Virgo or some important houses in Virgo, well, this could indicate someone who makes a great lawyer because they're very argumentative. They're always able to see the way that they can improve things and always make it better and do it by sticking to the book and in the details of what they can do to always fix things or to come from their angle, get their point across. And because Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, is a very competitive planet. Mercury likes to play games. But in this case of Virgo, it's about how can I make it better? How can I win? How can I take this to the ultimate level, basically? Now, let's go ahead and look at Pisces. So, well, real quick, let's touch on what that means for dual feminine. So what dual and feminine relates to now with Virgo is about how we see the world. We encapsulate what it is that we see and how we can do things and make things better. We see the way they are. We see how it appeals to us or how we feel about it. And how then we're thinking about how we can go about and make that better, how we can change that, how we can refine that. Then we come to Pisces. So Pisces, we know, is dual feminine. Pisces is a water sign. The image of Pisces is two fish. It's like a circle, basically, with the head of one fish coming up against the tail of the other, and then the head of this fish coming up against the tail of the other one. It's an image of like everything in life is related. Everything in life is connected and reflected of each other. It also, that idea of Pisces, it's a very connected sign, and it's realizing that life is a cycle, because those two fish, head to tail, represent a cycle of life, and realizing that here we are, because Pisces is also, I relate Pisces, when I think of it as a water sign, I think of it as the ocean. So I think of Pisces as feeling connected to everything, that everything is in its place and everything is the way that it needs to be, because Pisces is also a sattvic sign. So it's about seeing things that they are the way that they need to be, that this is the most pure way of feeling connected about everything, is where it all needs to be. And whereas Virgo, I put refinement as a word for Virgo, with Pisces, I like the word surrender when it comes to Pisces. Because Pisces is about, so in other words, what we do is we dual and feminine. So we see the way that the world is, and we see how everything is changing around us, but we don't feel the need to change it. I mean, so now we talked about Mercury being the ruling planet of Virgo. Jupiter is the ruling planet of Pisces. Jupiter is a planet about knowledge, wisdom, understanding. It's about joy. It's a very giving, generous planet. And it has all these qualities because Jupiter rules Pisces. Jupiter is connected to Pisces, and Jupiter understands this is the way things are. It's constantly changing. I'm in this ocean, but not only is this stuff constantly changing, but it's also very much connected. It's not just a constant stream, or just a lake with borders. It's an ocean. You know, we're all connected in this ocean of consciousness. You know, we're all just different fish in this vessel, and we're all here to play our part. And so that's the difference between Virgo and Pisces. So now let's talk about if you have Virgo as your ascendant and Pisces as your descendant. So if you're Virgo ascendant, you're the type of person who might be a little bit critical of things and people in their life who might not be happy with the way things are and always working to fix things and to make things better, because they know that there's always a way that they can utilize their skills and intelligence and stuff, and use their hands and their dexterity and be able to make things better, and they're constantly working on things. And this is also why Virgo is known as the healing sign, because we saw that image of the maiden, right, holding up the herbs and the wheat. Well, because a Virgo ascendant person is someone, it can be related to healing because of that fact that it's always looking to make something better. So if you have Virgo, what you have is you have someone who's always who knows that, like, okay, well, here's this. I see this has this condition. This thing can possibly have this condition because this condition isn't good enough. Let me bring it up here. And that's how healing energy can be related to Virgo, because Virgo's always getting involved, always using his hands, always wanting to fix things and refine things, and never just content with the way things are. And that's where the all other factors equal in the chart, where a Virgo person can grow the most is when they start moving towards Pisces, when they start moving along this axis of the setting sign of the descendant sign of Pisces, because it's the furthest thing away from the rising sign is the setting sign. So what Pisces represents, for Virgo Ascended, the growth pattern that they can achieve the highest amount of growth in their life with is when they're working on stuff and they're fixing things and they're making it better and they're being critical and they're seeing how they can fix it, they're being argumentative and playing by the rules in the rule book, where they can find the most growth from that, and to really be able to use that Virgo energy the most is if they start really cultivating the Pisces energy of surrendering and just knowing that this is the way that life needs to be, and understanding that they can fix what they can, but ultimately everything is connected. So appreciating that, yes, they can make this better, but that things are the way that they're supposed to be, and just surrendering to and understanding. It's like the serenity prayer, in fact, what is it? It's like, Lord, give me the power to fix the things that I can change and to let the other stuff be, basically. And that's kind of the idea with Virgo, with a Virgo Ascendant, all other factors equal in the chart. With a Virgo Ascendant is to really accept that serenity prayer, like, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Stop trying to fix everything. Stop trying to make things better, and just start accepting them the way they are. And the moment that they're able to do that, they're going to really find out they'll know what they can fix by using their wisdom to see what is actually fixable, and what is actually worth fixable, and how are things really supposed to be. And once they start contemplating this and they really start thinking about that, and they see the connection in life and how everything is ultimately connected, that's where a Virgo person can really unlock that Virgo energy the most and be able to use it in the most wisest and useful fashion. Now, let's go ahead and flip the script. Let's say you have a Pisces Ascendant. So if you have a Pisces Ascendant, then that means you're the type of person that is okay with the way things are. It's naturally just a gentle, a happy, more peaceful person. Again, all other factors equal in the chart. Is typically a more peaceful person because they're used to just going, the way they see things in life, the way they are, the way their personality is, and how they go about the world is like, this is the way it's supposed to be. I'm content with the way that it is. And so all other factors equal, with a Pisces Ascendant, these can be the type of people that, maybe they accept a worse situation. Maybe they accept a lesser lot in life because they just say, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be. It's okay. I accept it. I understand why it's like this. Where a Pisces person, again, all other factors equal, a Pisces person can experience the most growth in life when they start actually getting their hands dirty, when they actually start going, well, this is the way things are, and I'm okay with it. But you know what? I think I can actually make this a little bit better. Let me go ahead and use my discernment here, my discerning nature, and let me just get in there and really start picking at it and making it better and finding a better way of having something in life, and not just accepting things, but working with what they can, using what is practically possible, using a little bit of practicality in their life to refine things to make them just that much better. And that will help them because they already understand how to accept things, but sometimes we have to get our hands dirty and work. And that's kind of the growth pattern for a Pisces individual, all other factors equal in the chart, is to get in there and see things and start making the things better that they can possibly refine, getting in there and refining things. Now, let's go ahead and throw Ketu and Rahu in. So now if you have Ketu in Virgo, with Ketu being that it represents our past life tendencies, where we totally leaned on Virgo in the past and we never developed the Pisces energy. What that means is that in our past lives, our past karma has been one of always refining things, always being practical, being argumentative, being critical of the world because we know we can make it somewhat better because for some reason it's just not working and things can always be improved. Well, every time that we go to use that energy, if we have Ketu in Virgo, what's going to happen is we're going to be put in a situation where we're not able to do things, or we're put in a situation where we can't change it and we're forced to just learn to deal with things as they are. And that's kind of the nature of Pisces, and that's the nature of Rahu and Pisces, which is like not knowing kind of what to let go of. Because with Virgo, because Pisces also is about being able to let go of things, because that's the surrender. Because Virgo is about getting involved with things, Pisces is about letting go of things. With Virgo, this person, or I'll say we, when we have Ketu and Virgo, we have this energy to just be like, all right, I know and we have a lot of skill because we've developed a lot of skill in our past lives of working with this thing and always making things better and being ultra practical in life and being ultra involved in the situation. Where with Ketu and Virgo, the more that we lean into that of trying to get involved in everything and just trying to always make everything in our lives better, the more we're forced into situations where we have to learn to let some things go and to let them be the way they are. Because what will happen is we won't be able to use Ketu and Virgo. We'll get pulled into Pisces. We'll get pulled into a situation where we're forced to deal with things as they are. So now, all other factors equal in the chart. And now let's go ahead and turn it around. So if we have Ketu and Pisces, and we have Rahu and Virgo. With Ketu and Pisces, that shows that where we came from with our past life karmas, from our past lifetimes, basically, we've always been the type of person that has really been about devotion and surrender and understanding and accepting where we are and knowing that it's part of the bigger picture and part of the whole. And the more that we try and lean on that energy of like, oh, this is okay, this is where I am, we get forced into Rahu. This is the way the nodes work. We lean on Ketu, we get pulled into Rahu because we're here to learn this Rahu lesson and to develop this Virgo tendency in life. And so the more that we try and just accept the situation for what it is and just be like, okay, I'm just going to allow this to happen, the more that we're forced to get involved. And that's what Rahu and Virgo represents, is like being forced to have to actually deal with the concrete things in life, to have to try and improve our situation. So like, let's say Ketu and Pisces, and it's related to your home life, right? We're the type of people with Ketu and Pisces where we go, yeah, you know what? I'm very skilled at just being able to accept whatever my house is like. You know, I'm able to, like, this is my house. That's okay if it's got a squeaky door hinge, you know, and you know, this lamp over here has 2 burned out bulbs, but you know, that's just the way it is. And the more that we try and be like that, the more we get forced into a situation where, guess what? Those other 2 bulbs in that lamp burn out, right? That squeaky door falls off its hinge. You know, the more that we try and accept things for the way they are, the more that we're forced into actually having to get in there and figure out how to change a light bulb, how to replace a door hinge, you know. And that's really kind of the idea of Rahu and Virgo, is learning how to get involved in life, learning how to not just, because Ketu and Pisces is about letting go and surrendering to the flow of the way that things are and seeing the bigger picture of everything and being okay with it because it sees that it's for the greater good. Whereas in Virgo, it's like, yeah, but that's with Rahu in Virgo now, it's here to balance that Ketu and Pisces energy, so that Rahu in Virgo is gonna force us to get more involved to fix the things that need to be fixed. And being that it's a Tamasic sign, it'll probably create situations in where we don't know the solutions of how to do it, but we're gonna have to work with it somehow. And so anyway, all other factors equal in the chart. We could talk about this for days. I could go on for hours and hours. I've probably already gone on longer than I intended to, but you know, that's the nature of making these videos. And especially when we start bringing in the houses and other planets and where everything is placed, then that's why I say all other factors equal, because we're not going to look at that. This is the base underlying energy. So now, if you like the material you've seen and you watched this far, I ask you to subscribe to my channel. Check out my website, especially if you're interested in getting a reading, either a brief reading, a full reading, or tutoring. And thank you for watching. And namaste.